most interesting part of comics and graphic novels is how they tell a story through a series of images. These images, called panels, are arranged in a sequence across the page, and as our eyes move from image to image, we're pulled forward by the action taking place, our imaginations filling in the gap in time between one image and the next. This is such a common technique in visual storytelling because it imitates the way we perceive the real world. If we put together enough images in a short time frame, we can even get a convincing reproduction of reality. Richard Maguire's 2015 graphic novel, Here, takes this familiar relationship between image and time and throws it out the window. Instead of filling each page with a series of panels, each two-page spread in Here presents a single image of a living room, always in the same position and from the same perspective. Panels appear throughout the book, but they're always laid over the main image and don't directly follow the events we see. The overlaid panels instead display scenes that are years or even decades removed from the other images on the page, like a collage of flashbacks and flash-forwards that are related only by their having happened in the same living room. The result is an unconventional and captivating survey of domestic life in 20th century America. In a single page, we see 5 different women holding 5 different babies over the course of 64 years. We see women dancing in the same room, a mere 3 feet and 82 years apart. The dramatic leaps through time into ever-familiar settings calls to mind the phrase, "History never repeats itself, but it does often rhyme." Even though furniture is rearranged and walls are repainted, human life always follows a familiar rhythm. The residents of the living room still play Twister after 44 years, and dress up for Halloween after 59 years. And then, the book's temporal scope grows far larger than a human lifetime, far larger than even the existence of the human species, to encompass Earth's earliest days and its distant future. These alien moments in time invade the familiar space of the home, the overlaid panels revealing the Earth that was and will be beyond the living room walls, like windows into other worlds. But they aren't other worlds. They aren't even different places in the same world. Everything we see, from dinosaurs to whatever this thing is, have all occupied the same space at different points in time. Here's unorthodox approach to representing time works to remind us that the domestic setting of the house, part of a world built by humans, for humans, is one small part of a much larger history. The book moves back and forth from moment to moment, regularly combining images of different times together in ways that suggest they are related, even though they may have taken place hundreds of years apart. Native American men watched someone in 1986 explain the importance of this site to their culture on one page, and on another, 2 women complain about loss while readers are shown a future where the house itself has been lost in a massive flood. Juxtaposing images of the familiar 20th century with unfamiliar pasts and futures reminds us that our perception of time is slow, and bringing only incremental change is just that, a perception. A couple lifetimes may pass uneventfully, but dramatic changes will inevitably occur, and the collages of distant moments showing radically different landscapes emphasize just how common these events are. This massive, non-linear representation of time reduces humanity to a minuscule position in Earth's history. This can feel alienating, but this sense of alienation is useful when imagining aspects of the world that are so much bigger than ourselves. Large-scale processes like colonialism, industrial capitalism, and climate change are all phenomena that have taken place over hundreds of years and involve billions of people, and the true scope of their influence is practically impossible for any one human to personally experience. But by seeing how one place on Earth can be shaped by these processes over many human lifetimes, their effects become much more tangible. We witness the effects of climate change play out over thousands of years, as the house is destroyed by a massive flood that leaves the land desolate, until hairless bears, and eventually creatures that do not even exist in our world today, have adapted to life in this once familiar setting. Such futures may appear to be sensational speculation, but when we remember that dinosaurs once walked the same paths we do, they no longer seem so far-fetched. We aren't going to be around forever. This fact is easy to forget because we spend so much time thinking about ourselves while living in spaces built for us. This focus on what's familiar to us can distort our sense of time and space, like the family in Here who eclipses the sun with a video of their own sun. Our self-fascination can lead us to forget our place in a much bigger universe. By breaking away from the conventions of the comics medium with Here's massive timescale, Richard Maguire shows us that art can be more than a reflection of what we already know. It has the potential to be a window that allows us to look past the walls we built for ourselves and see the world beyond from a new perspective.